Hi, I'm Graeme. If you've ever had trigger point pain before, you'll likely understand that you can have treatment and feel better, but the pain keeps coming back. Now, in this video, I'll share with you why that is and what you can do about it. Now, the key is that trigger points are long-term changes to your muscles. Now, courses of treatment such as needles, lasers or pressure point therapy will quieten them down a bit so they stop hurting, but those changes are still there, so of course they eventually start hurting again. Now instead what we need to do is reverse those long-term changes, which is what I'll be sharing with you. Now let's start with what trigger points are. Now if you've ever had a massage, it's likely the therapist found parts of your muscle that were tight, felt ropey and had tender lumps you never knew you had. Now they're the trigger points. Now they start small and you don't know they're there, then eventually grow big enough to where they can start shooting pain. Now, as I said before, courses of trigger point therapy such as needles, lasers or pressure points typically just quieten these down but can't reverse the long-term changes. Now the good news is that if you check your muscles after these therapies, they would be less ropey and the lumps would be smaller. Now, if you kept going with the therapy for long after you felt better, those lumps would continue to shrink, but most people are not going to make, say, 100 appointments, so instead it's temporary relief and back for more when it starts hurting again. Now, because of this, the only way for most people to get rid of trigger points is to have an easy, effective self-treatment they can continue with. And with that, there's only one suitable therapy, and that's vibration massage. Now that's where you sit the head or pad of a vibration massager like this over the trigger point while the vibrations penetrate, and as this diagram shows, have desirable therapeutic effects. Now as you can see, it's very comfortable and very safe, and those therapeutic effects make it highly effective. Now the other self-therapy commonly prescribed is using pressure techniques with your fingers or thumbs, or maybe with the assistance of something like a ball. Now these do work, but they're not as effective, they're harder to do and can easily cause injury, but the main problem is that they hurt. People rarely keep doing them without having trigger points hurting to motivate them. Now the other thing you need to be wary of is that you do need a proper professional standard vibration massager like one of these. Now there are plenty of personal use machines like this on the market that are not capable of giving serious amounts of therapeutic vibrations at the right frequencies. Now the other thing you need to avoid is massage guns. Now instead of sitting on the surface and sending in therapeutic vibrations, they're designed to drive their heads in like a jackhammer. Now that means they're not giving the proper therapeutic vibrations, and that hammering into your muscle is likely to do damage rather than good. Now I'll link more info about that. Now there are other things you need to do to help eliminate the trigger points properly, such as eliminating or reducing anything that's causing or aggravating them, so I'll link our trigger point therapy guide. However, the key will be the regular applications of vibration massager over time. Now say I have trigger points in my forearm muscles. Now it's a simple matter of applying the massager each day and gradually dissolving them. Now, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate, and thanks very much for watching. It has been most appreciated.